Jesus knew that his hour had come to depart out of this world to the Father. Having loved his own, he loved them to the end. The Last Supper is a prologue to the main event, the Passion on Good Friday, the resurrection on Easter. And yet, even as prologue, much is happening. It's Passover. The new rite fulfills the old rite. Jesus institutes the Eucharist. He washes the disciples' feet. He tells them that one of the 12 will betray him. Peter affirms his willingness to die for Christ and will not listen when Jesus tells him that he will deny him 3 times before cockcrow. There are the farewell discourses, especially the new commandment, love one another as I have loved you. And then Gethsemane, the agony in the garden, the disciples falling asleep. Much happens. We can look at it this way. There are 3 things. On the one hand, there is humility. Jesus, humility. Manifested in the foot washing, in his patience with the disciples that don't get it, his identification with sinners in Gethsemane, where he could have said, well, I don't have to go through this. I don't have any sin. And I suspect Satan tempted him to do exactly that. But he washes the feet in humility. Peter, in his pride, says, no, you'll never wash my feet. Jesus tells him he has to. Peter doesn't think he needs it. And likewise, he contradicts Christ when he says that he will betray him, deny that he even knows him. Peter, in both cases, is saying, implying, I know better than you do. That's pride. So, note in passing, at least, that the strength is to be found in the humility and not in the pride. Though that's what pride tells us. If we're going to be strong, you have to stand up for yourself. Peter, in his pride, fails. He does deny Christ. Jesus shows us his strength of character, especially in Gethsemane, when he remains faithful to God, faithful to the Father's will, to be so profoundly identified with sinners that he suffers that desolation, that being cut off from God, that leads finally to, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? But overall, the pride and the humility is the love of God, the institution of the Eucharist, the new commandment, union with Christ, that we may be washed in the blood of the Lamb. Jesus, here, out of love, makes the 12 clean, though Judas refuses it. He takes upon himself that desolation, which is manifest in Gethsemane and on the cross. Here we see Jesus as the lowliest servant who washes feet. He's the servant who has to clean up the messes that other people make. He has the humility to do that for us. We make lots of messes. We mess up our hearts. when we allow our passions to rule, whether it's anger, lust, gluttony, vainglory, you can fill in the blanks, I'm sure. Whether it's the disobedience to the new command, when we don't love others the way Christ loves us. And we make messes of most of our most important relationships. Spouse, children, parents, siblings, even the not so close relations. We get mad at fellow workers. So, Jesus is ready to clean up for us. But are we infected with Peter's pride? Do we say, thanks, but I can manage? Cleaning up is beneath you. I'll manage. I'll take care of it. I don't want your help. I need to make myself worthy of you first. And then, perhaps we can deal with things. But to say no to his service is to say no to his love. I don't want your help means I don't want your love. Because we can't have it on our own terms. We can only have it on his. Which is only fair, because after all, he's God, and we're not. Though we do forget that sometimes. To accept Christ's love requires humility. A humility which, hopefully, we're all working on, but there are probably few of us that can assert with any confidence that we've got it, which is good. Our weakness humbles ourselves. And Jesus gives himself to us tonight in the Blessed Sacrament to share with us his love and his humility, to dwell in our hearts, to take over in our hearts. We are here to have our feet washed. Humility is needed to accept that service of Christ, just as humility is needed if we are to serve others, to wash others' feet, as he gives us opportunity. Christ is humble before the Father, and he shares that humility with us. That is the union between us and Christ that he gives us in the Mass. His love uniting us with him. But to be united with him is also to be united with his sacrifice. The body broken and the blood poured out in the sacrament of the altar. And to be united with him in his sacrifice means taking up our cross to follow him. He cleans up our messes, but he also gives us the opportunity to share in his work, cleaning up. That's the cross. That gives us the opportunity to suffer whatever adversities may come our way, to suffer out of sorrow for our own messes, but also to suffer in sorrow for the messes of everyone else. We are invited to share in that work of atonement. The cross is never pleasant, but it is an enormous privilege to be able to bear the cross with Christ and to be so intimately united with him. So we should value the adversities, treasure the cross when it is ours, for the love of Christ, who shares it with us. So, he wants to do this for us tonight. Our response, in the first place, to accept his tender and redeeming love as he offers it to us in his service of us. And then, accepting his love him back. Peter, you remember, who refused at the Last Supper, accepted the foot washing only with reluctance. But then after his denials, after the resurrection at the Sea of Tiberias, when Christ puts all that to rest, remember what Jesus asks him? Not, do you believe me now? Not, are you willing to trust me? Not, will you obey me? He asks, do you love me? All the rest is included in that. Do you love me? Peter's confession of love there in humility, and it is humbling to him, I'm sure, allows him to accept the redeeming love of Christ. Jesus says to us, let me love you. Do you love me?